This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
SpringFest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily. Is it a bad sign to not feel passion when you're engaged? By Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. Evan, to be honest, I've never felt passion for my fiancé, even when we were dating. All of the other relationships I was in were extremely unhealthy, but I was madly in love. I can't tell if my lack of feelings for him is because I've just always been used to roller coaster emotions, or if it's because this isn't true love. Do partners ever get more passionate for each other after marriage? Or is it safe to say this is my peak level of passion? If this is it, will I end up wanting a divorce? I care about him deeply, and we have a lot of the same values. But I never thought, oh my God, I'm so in love with him, I don't know what I would do if we broke up. Also, how can I gauge whether he's feeling the same? I don't think he is. He's always initiated the big moments, like becoming official, asking me to move in, getting engaged, sometimes even sooner than I would have liked. But it's hard to tell how another person is really feeling about you when you don't feel much towards them. Cass. Normally, when I get this question, Cass, I'll refer back to one of these two posts. Is it okay to love someone but not be in love? And do you have to have fireworks to have a successful relationship? The answers, respectively, are yes and no. Yes, you can have a happy and loving marriage even if you didn't start with the in-love feeling. And no, you don't need fireworks to have a happy marriage. If you have a 7 in chemistry and a 10 in compatibility, you have a pretty sweet life. The reason I'm taking your question today is because of the very last thing you wrote, when you don't feel much towards them. I'm going to take this opportunity to try and explain something that often gets lost in translation when I hear readers quote my advice back to me. My advice: stop compromising on character, kindness, consistency, communication, and commitment. Feel free to compromise on everything else. False translation: settle on someone you're not attracted to. Actual translation: compromise and settling both involve trade-offs. The difference is how you feel about it afterward. You compromise your way into happiness. You settle your way into misery. In other words, if you're going to get married, you'd better be happy about it. If you're not happy about getting married, you probably shouldn't get married. Sounds to me, Cass, like you're working off the false translation. I'll use my own marriage as an example of how this works. To break down your question, you said, do partners ever get more passionate for each other after marriage? Or is it safe to say this is my peak level of passion? Passion is a loaded and subjective word. It usually implies physical passion above all. And yes, for the most part, your physical passion will peak in the first 18 months you're dating. Real life is how your relationship looks afterwards, which is why I say not to get married for 2 to 3 years. You said, I care about him deeply and we have a lot of the same values, but I've never thought, oh my God, I'm so in love with him, I don't know what I would do if we broke up. If my girlfriend and I broke up after 16 months of dating in 2008, I would have survived. I know this because I survived 35 years of being single and was easily able to imagine myself dating other women. My decision to marry my girlfriend wasn't based on blind passion, but rather on the knowledge that after 300 previous dates, this was by far the easiest, healthiest relationship I'd ever had. Were there women I was more physically attracted to? Sure. Intellectually attracted to? Yep. Had more in common? Naturally. So why did I marry my wife? Because out of all of those women about whom I felt more passionate, a total of 0 of them proved to be a compatible girlfriend. So, to parse your original question, did I become more passionate about my wife after marriage? In terms of how often we were intimate? No. We tapered off from an every time we see each other to about a steady once a week after we moved in together. But I do love my wife more now than when we got married. Oh my God, yes. When we got married, she was a super cool girlfriend, the only person I'd ever met who accepted me in full without trying to change me. My head wasn't in the clouds, but I was happy and appreciative. That's why I proposed. That was 11 years ago. We have 11 years of memories built up to fortify our relationship every day. In other words, I loved her when we got married, but I fell more deeply in love with her as time passed, not based on passion, but based on the fact that we've built this incredible life together. Today, my wife is my favorite person in the world. I couldn't imagine living without her. We are raising 2 kids. We have 30,000 photos in our iPhoto library documenting all of it. We honestly feel like the luckiest people on earth and never think that we'd be more happily married to anyone else. And if that's the case, what difference does it make that she dated a 6'7" guy with a master's degree before she met me? Or that her ex-husband was really connected in the entertainment industry? Or that she had a thing for military men and Europeans at various points in time? She married me. I win. We win. Sorry to hijack your post, Cass, but your relationship sounds nothing like my relationship. If you don't feel much towards your fiancé, he shouldn't be your fiancé. But if you're reading this and wondering if your fiancé is the wrong guy just because you're not wildly passionate about him, I want to give you a definitive answer. Good relationships get stronger over time. Bad relationships peak early and go downhill over time. Make sure that you're in a good relationship before you get married, and you'll never regret being married. Marry someone who isn't your favorite person, and you'll likely feel trapped and miserable. You know what to do. The question is whether you're brave enough to do it. You just listened to the post titled, "Is it a bad sign to not feel passion when you're engaged?" by Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby! Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Department of Defense is working with Google to help secure America's digital defense systems, from establishing cloud-based zero-trust solutions to deploying the latest AI technology. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
And thanks a lot to Evan today. Very steadfast in his opinions and advice as always. A quick note about the last part where he mentions marrying your favorite person. Now, I really like this nugget, but I'd be remiss if I didn't caution you when calculating who your favorite person might be. It's very important to be aware of what attachments we have to people, places, and things. And unhealthy attachments can often distort our perception of how healthy someone is for us, which is different from how important they are to us. And it's important to lead with how healthy someone is for us, or how healthy our attachment is to them. It can be very easy to miss out on good, healthy partnerships if we mistakenly observe them to somehow interfere with the relationships we have with people who may not be in our best interest. So if you're unsure about if your partner is your favorite person, it's not a good start, but it's also not a death sentence for the relationship. Just be sure you're giving them an opportunity to be your favorite person, and looking carefully at how much better they make you, or how much they support you, how much they allow you to be yourself. It's easy to miss this if our minds are distracted by unhealthy attachments to any number of things. And on that note, we have reached the end, friends. Really appreciate you coming here today for another episode, and I hope you will continue to do so. You know I'll be back with you tomorrow to start the work week. Hope to see you there, where your optimal life awaits.